Love in the time of COVID. Do I need to love my neighbor even if it's someone I hardly know? And if so, how? Hi, I'm Dr. KP McKee, founder and executive director of a Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. Today, as we walk through this practice, we would love to hear your comments or questions and suggestions. You can enter those in the comment box on your mobile device or on your computer. So there was a wise teacher long ago who said that we are to love our neighbors as ourselves. And we're going to, as we look into that, we're going to start with our geographic neighbors, those persons that we have most in common with as far as connections with roadways and opportunities to see one another, and also shared gatherings and concerns. And for this series, we're going to understand loving our neighbor as intending and acting toward the good of another. So real neighbor love is going to transcend our ideological differences. It recognizes our connections as humans, and it creates connections rather than digging divides. So what are some things that we can do to love our neighbors, even ones that we don't know very well? Well, to get into the spirit of that, let's just imagine that we're getting ready to go on a walk through our neighborhood, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get dressed. And something that I have enjoyed doing is whenever I am out and about, wearing something that will bring some joy to somebody else in some way, which is why I have my purple crayon t-shirt on today. Yeah, there. So my Harold and the purple crayon t-shirt, which usually brings a smile from folks because that is the shared memory a lot of us have of that particular wonderful series of books. And I also try to, with my masks, do something that will make them enjoyable for somebody to look at. So this one simply says hi on it. And I did it in Sharpie. If you use Sharpies on yours, you want to let it sit for a bit before you put it on because it is a very intense smell and it makes it hard to breathe. And we also made a point to put some wax paper over this and iron it on both sides and then wash it by itself instead of throwing it in the wash with the others the first time that we washed it. And of course, with these masks, you're going to want to wash them regularly when you do your laundry. And I did this one so that it looks like balloons. So I did this one with fabric paint and some fabric crayons. Markers, sorry, not crayons. But any of that will work. And same thing here. You can, if you do use fabric crayons, it helps to brighten them up by doing the wax paper and an iron that's set on warm to kind of seal those colors in and bring them out a little bit. And again, you want to always wash your mask regularly. Another thing that you can do are some signs of hope. We, on our morning walk today, walked by where someone had clearly had some chalk in their pocket and just stopped every now and then to send folks a message of hope. Invitation to smile, some greetings. Howdy was one. Happy faces. And we like to do the same thing in our yard, to do some chalk art out front every now and then. Some of our neighbors have signs up, Black Lives Matter, inviting people to remember to vote, that sort of thing. Also, I have these leaf bowls that I made that I set out on a table to people to just stop and pick up because we all could use a little bit of beauty during these hard times. So we also can just do neighborly greetings, and we even made a video, which we very much enjoyed doing, of ways that you can greet people from a distance, from giving them a peace symbol to a nod, to just a bow to give them honor. We have someone that we walk by who regularly just flashes the peace symbol at us as a way to greet us. And I don't know about you, but just having someone connect with me in a neighborly way helps restore my soul and keeps me going through these very hard times. Also with that, there is an attitude of gratitude that we can exhibit as we're out and about on our neighborhood walk. which is just to thank people maybe for taking the time to plant some flowers in their yard for all of us to enjoy, or something that they have done for the neighborhood that we appreciate. Just a way that we name each other and say, I value you, and I want you to know that I see and appreciate what you've done. And that's something we can also do via email when we get back from our walk. Someone who has touched our life in a positive way, that we can send a letter or an email to them saying thank you for being a good neighbor. And also, I just wanted to talk a little bit about roadway respect. So we do a lot of walking, and I have seen the front bumper of a lot more cars than I wish I could have while I am in the pedestrian walkway, and also nearly had my backside removed more than one time by cars that do not wish to wait for me to clear the intersection before they start. And you may have had this experience too, in a car with another car. And this comes from our culture of hurry, where we have told ourselves that busyness equals worthiness. And this simply is not true. We have worth just because we are. So next time that we're out and about, instead of focusing on getting where we're going as fast as possible, let's take a moment to breathe. And let's get where we're going as humanly as possible. And then we will all feel, I think, a whole lot better. We don't need to be needlessly endangering other people's lives just because we are buying into a cultural perspective that really serves no one. And also, just with that in mind, when we're out walking, something that we can be mindful of is, as we are needing to socially distance, because that is how we are a good neighbor, we want to also be thinking about what is the safest way to do that for our neighbors and for ourselves. So if we are walking on a sidewalk and someone else is coming up on a narrow sidewalk and there's nowhere to go on the side farthest away from traffic, look at who is facing traffic with the walk. And if you are facing traffic, you can step a little bit into the street, maybe just at the curb, if you have to. And that way you can see the traffic coming, and you can move out of the way quickly if that is necessary. That keeps it safer for the person who is not able to see the traffic coming. So just something to think about that way. And as we're thinking about the safety of others, I just wanted to mention depoliticizing safety. So when we are stressed, we tend to get cemented in our beliefs and judgmental of other people who perceive things differently. So we can be mostly concerned about safety for our bodies, safety of our beliefs, and safety in our communities. And that can sometimes lead us to rolling eyes or speaking unkindly to people who are choosing to do things differently. So because we are in a time where medical advice is what we need to be listening to, let's do what the medical professionals say for ourselves and for our neighbors, so that we wear our masks however we choose to decorate them, we keep a safe physical distance from other people, and we wash our hands well and regularly. And we don't make it about beliefs, political or ideological. We make it about the fact that we are all humans. We share the same DNA, which means that we are susceptible to this virus, but it also means that we are connected to one another in ways that are biological and human. And so let us first and foremost be human to one another. So I'm sure that you guessed that that teacher I was talking about who said, love your neighbor as yourself, was Jesus. And so we welcome your thoughts about any of these, how to be a neighbor, what it means to be a neighbor. And if you found this helpful, we hope you will like it on Facebook and pass it along to others that we're doing this. Also, you can rewatch on Facebook, on YouTube, or on our website, www.aspaciousplace.com. And before we wrap up today, I want to tell you about an offering that we have for students in grades 1 through 12. This is a way that we can be a neighbor to young people. This is hard for all of us, but it is especially hard for those who have less life experience and who rely on us as adults to provide stability for them. So this is an after-school series where students will do journaling on their level of development about their experience with this pandemic. And we are beginning in September and taking registrations for it now. The earlier you can get this in, the better it is for us, because we need to purchase supplies and write the curriculum. We will make it appropriate to the level and age of the students who are participating. So please spread the news about this. We would love to have, what we're going to be doing is delivering to doors the supplies once a month, and then weekly meeting online to give guidance about how to use them. So let's close with prayer. In times of stress, God, we long for personal safety, and that can keep us sometimes and separate us from other people. So keep our eyes open to our own needs and to the equally important needs of others, and help us to imagine and then create a neighborhood in which everyone is loved.